Hey guys, today, will those headers fit without being beat up? What's the quality look like? Dynavox has reached out again. I'm really happy about it. Check it out. Let's go to the shop. So a few months back, I had a company reach out to me about a set of some kind of an exhaust system that this company sells, Dynavox. You may have seen it. I put a set of shorties on the blue Ram, my 2014 model that I have. Worked out pretty good. Was really happy with the quality of the header. Not so much the fasteners. Well, the company reached out to me and offered me another set to take a look at. This is for the LS, so TETANUS gets a set of long tubes. We're gonna open this box up, see what we got. So, this is how it came. A little bit of bump right there. Don't know that there's any damage, but we shall see in just a minute, won't we? The one thing is, everything looks to be, in the box. Same thing that I have with the last set. Not the greatest looking, and look, where the gasket is, it's already got damage right there, or we're just thrown in the box. So, one thing that I'm gonna tell you, Dynavox, you need to rethink what you're doing on how you are packaging this stuff. Comes with a clamp. Not sure. So, got two exhaust clamps here. I think I know what those are for. Hold on. All right. We'll set those to the side here. Like a Y connector. Reasonable looking welds. Those welds look really good. Little scrapes here and there, but again, with the packaging, I can see why. And a single collector. We'll soon put all this stuff together somehow. At some point. And the other side, again, decent looking weld. Bungs for O2 sensors here, here, and here. Makes sense, right? Looks pretty good there. Collectors look good. It's a good heavy gauge there. Soon. It goes down here, so all right, again, set this stuff over here. Into the business here, again, everything's bubble wrap. Thick flange. Welds are reasonable. All right, there you go. Basic long tube header. Everything's in the correct condition. Nothing's damaged. I don't know how you guys think, and I know it doesn't matter. Sometimes you have to bend headers to fit, which is kind of ridiculous to me. If I'm buying a header for a specific vehicle, and the company says, oh yeah, that's the correct situation, I should never have to bend something. But again, there you go. Welds inside look reasonable. Flanges are good thick. It looks to be as it should. Just kind of show you what I've actually came with here. The end, the collector, and Alright, so it's basically came down to this, guys. Like I said, I've got the headers, I got the long tube. Something I mentioned was, you know, this has got this long piece right here, which, you know, if I'm gonna, doesn't work, right? Best I can tell, and I believe this is correct, is I could buy the gasket that goes around this for the fitting, and then I cut this to the height I need. Or I can put these the other way, cut them off, and have a, you know, clamp-on style. Just cut the collectors off and don't even use these. Couple reasons I'm thinking maybe I'll do that. I don't know yet. One thing about the quality of these headers, I mean, like I said, the material's great. The welds look solid. There's one or two, maybe a little booger there I might grind off, but for the most part, excellent. But take a look at that. These are, both of them are the same way too. This collector plate is crooked, and I mean like by quite a bit. If you see it here, see the height on that one, the height on that one. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's quite a bit. Straight up, don't know that it would matter. When you put the gasket on it, you cut the thing to the size you need. You get it all slid up. You know, if I were cutting these things down, I would put it up here just like so, and probably cut, you know, a ½ inch or so, put the gasket on that, and boom, right against it. You hardly even use the gasket, and this has a little bit of correction it can make, so I don't think that's going to be an issue. But I wanted to point it out because, I'm sorry, Dynavox, but that's quality control, and it should be watched. Still well worth the money for the price of these things. To me, one of the biggest tests of a header, whenever I buy something for 04 Yukon long tube, I expect it to go in without rubbing and hitting something. So that's the big deal right now, is I want to get this 6 liter together. We can set it in the frame, then we'll be able to really inspect and see how much room we have around this header. It'll tell you guys if you're going to have to destroy these headers just to install them. You know, how many of you seen where somebody takes a hammer and just bashes this in? Now, as far as performance-wise, they put them on dynos, no difference. But who wants to beat up a set of brand new headers? You just paid for a custom header to fit your car, and now you're bashing on it? That means it doesn't fit any of those cars. So, universal fit doesn't universally fit, right? So what we're gonna do is get this 6 liter. I'm gonna get it tore down and leave all the accessories on the front of it. Probably take every hose and possibly take the intake off of it, so I can put my lift plate on it. That way I can put the lift plate, set the thing in place a little easier than, you know, if I try and strap this 15 different ways and everything else. So, but I want to get the intake off of it anyway, kind of see a little more about the engine. This engine has to come apart before I put it in the truck. Don't know what I'm going to do all with it, but thinking I might send the heads out, get them welded up, take the combustion chamber down a little bit, do some CNC porting, that kind of thing. Try and get as much as I can. They're a 317 head, so a little larger combustion than the LQ9, or than, yeah, LQ4s rather than the LQ9, with the larger valves and a little smaller combustion chamber than what these had. They should flow great. So again, a little bit of work. Nothing I don't know that any of them I'm going to buy are going to be ready to go out of the box. They're going to need a little work, so this, you know, spend a little on these and make them work. Who knows? But yeah, right now I want to get the exhaust off this thing, get all the hoses, all the extra crap off of it. I'll set up the engine hoist, and we'll start setting this engine on the frame, and we'll see how these fit against the frame. Stay tuned, we're going to get this done today. Okay, as promised, today we got that 6 liter sitting in the frame. And you can see I've already been playing with it a little bit because I want to give these things every chance. Now, one thing that I said that I judge a header on is how well it fits. I think everybody kind of judges it that way. And these are supposed to be a custom fit. And I'll say for the Silverado, Tahoe, any of the GMT, whatever platform, 2004. And I'm going to double check that just to make sure. So before you see this video, I will have double checked it. And if it's not, then it should be somewhere on here telling me I'm the ignorant idiot that told him the wrong thing or ordered the wrong part. But now let's just take you guys off this and let's get down here and kind of. All right, so let's get down here, take a look at this header, and I'm going to show you what it is. And I think, in all honesty, I've seen some other guys that have done this exact same thing with this brand and some other brands. So I don't know that there is a brand or a header that's going to fit perfectly on these trucks. Much as I hate to say it, it may just be a thing that they don't care enough to do it. Or maybe they built it to one frame and figured out, well, it's close to this, so give them a hammer. They should have shipped a hammer with them. Blah, blah, blah. Dynavox, you've got a good header. Overall, the welds are good. The material seems to be good. It's good heavy flanges. A little bit of quality control, like I said. The ones that are welded crooked, but I can kind of overlook that because it's just sort of the way the things bolt up. They've got some forgiveness, so I know it's not a big thing, but when you look at it, it looks bad. So here you go. So as we're putting this header in the frame, now one thing you'll notice, of course, and I won't blame Dynavox for this, I've got the 4L80 in this. This thing came standard with the 4L60, so it didn't have this. I believe I can take and notch that off, and that's going to be plenty, but it can't go down in there far enough. Now, looking at that, I'm hitting, and I'm also hitting here. Well, I haven't even dropped down far enough to this. And when I do, I then also have to go up. Like I said, I can cut that off, and you know what? Just for you guys, I may go ahead and do that to give this every opportunity to fit. Now, I don't have the transmission mounted up good, but I did put it at the proper height, and I was careful to get it there. I also, to give it a little extra, I pushed the transmission as far that way, and you can see those bolt holes are lined up perfectly. So right now, if I wanted to drop bolts in this engine and tighten it all down, that's where it's going to sit. Passenger side, I've not got the body ready to go. I've not got everything mounted perfect or permanently, so I'm not going to start bashing on these headers until I am 100% ready to. However, I will give it this. Driver's side, it's so obviously, I'm going to put the bolts in it because, in all honesty, other than the possibility of the steering possibly hitting, well, there is tons of room. Frame, no problem. Everything looks great on that. That's where we're at. We're looking at this thing with the thought process of I'm giving it every opportunity to line up. Again, I think I'll go ahead and cut the edge of that transmission off, that little ear, because it definitely hits. And I do want to at least make sure that this allows me to put this bottom bolt. And right now I can't line this bottom bolt up because of that. So before I call it 100% that this will not fit, I'm going to give it a couple more tries. Like I said, it's a shame too because it is a good looking product. So guys, I've not seen too many headers that you just put in and they fit. The ones in the Ram, the 2014, they bolted right up. No problem, nothing rubbed. Everything's good. Few items that I had to modify, but that was just because of the install. A little bit of leeway because I do have a transmission that was not used with it, so remember that, and you can blame that one on me. This isn't an uncommon swap though, so we'll see. Now, the cross members, I've put them up there. Everything looks like it's going to line up. Honestly, I don't think I'm going to use the cross members. I think I'm going to go straight out the back, straight down it, go over the axle, and straight out the back end of it. All right, give me a few minutes. Let me cut that off. Again, every opportunity to make this header fit, we're going to do it. Okay, so I have trimmed off the corner of the transmission where it was sticking out, that just kind of sticking out. No real reason for it to be there, so went ahead and trimmed that down. These headers, I'm going to tell you right now, are that close to fitting, so they are really close. I didn't expect this, and before I say that you're gonna have to bash on them, I really need to put the transmission mount in permanently, bolt everything down. It does look like right there, it's still gonna need a little, and you can see it's sitting flat. And this back here is just about lined up, and that still needs to come up, so it's hitting there. On the back side though, I've cleared that. Much better than I thought. I did not expect that they would be that close. It looked like I was going to bash the hell out of them. That, in all honesty, if everything sits exactly where it is right now, won't be horrible. Matter of fact, just a slight dent. More than I really want to. But again, I can't say that I have to at all. So, guys, I'm going to tell you, my initial reaction was these aren't going to fit well. But for what I've seen, everybody's basically hit these headers a little bit. And not just these, but every brand that's out there. So, I mean, I'm sure these are copies or, you know, everything else that you can think of. So, Dynavox, it's a solid looking header for the price they're putting on it. And I appreciate the opportunity to try this out. It's been really, really cool. Learning experience for me, as always. And guys, hope you appreciate what's here. If you ever want to buy from Dynavox, Road Beer Garage. Make sure you put it in the discount code, Road Beer Garage. Go to Dynavox, put it in. That'll get you a little bit, man. Like I said, these things aren't perfect. They're a economical header that's built well. A little bit of modification, a couple things I think they can improve upon. But all in all, it's a solid product. And I have no problem recommending them. Check them out.